at this point, we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the Oscars. The show is February 29th.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? On ABC.
Is this a leap year?
No, it's like
February
28th.
always goes to the 28th, yeah.
I feel like I saw the 29th, but you're right. It's not right. So maybe it's the 28th
It's
then.
usually always a Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always like the Sunday
So
before.
somewhere around there. I think Rachel's double checking for me.
February 26th.
26th.
Yeah.
I had the numbers reversed.
Yeah.
I think the Emmys are before that, I believe.
Emmys are in the fall,
Or in the fall? Okay.
September-ish. It's
Television's
ABC.
always
Jimmy
first.
Kimmel's hosting, so that should be pretty
I
entertaining.
just learned that Stephen Colbert is hosting the Emmys. in the fall.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What else to say about it? This year, some interesting nominations. We have them written down. We'll probably just talk about the big ones. We were joking that despite obviously being important parts of the movie, it's just not as sexy to talk about sound editing or costume design and all that kind of. Unless you're interested in it, then more power to you. But we're going to focus a little bit more on the heavy hitter ones that most people will be talking about. So, best picture, actor, actress, directors, things like that. I don't know, how do we want to go about doing that? If we want to just
Do we want to
go
talk about who will
category
win
for category?
in the main categories and then who we thought was snubbed? Perhaps?
Yeah, I that's what I was saying. I don't know if we want to go category for category or if we want to just, I can sit here and read them all off, or
Yeah. I got them right here.
or you can kind of see what we're talking.
Yeah, I mean, we could do the main four and then animated
Yeah,
feature.
I guess
All right.
actors and such.
So, do you want to start with the best picture? Or you want to do that last?
We can do that last.
Yeah.
Something smaller.
We
Okay.
can do
Excuse me.
animated feature. That's
Animated feature.
Yeah.
considered smaller.
So let's see. We have Kubo.
Yep.
Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Zucchini, The Red Turtle, and Zootopia.
Yeah. Now with this, My Life as a Zucchini. My mom heard at the Golden Globes. She goes, "That's a movie? What? What do these people think?" So I was like, I don't know. I haven't seen it. But now when I wrote it down today, it was My Life as a Corget. So I don't know if it's a foreign film, and then sometimes they have a different title or something.
Oh, I think it is foreign film
Yeah.
because
Like a French
What
film.
site were you on?
Wikipedia. I
well,
think.
there's recent news about that because I think I don't know if it's this film, but the director is barred from entering the country now because
Yeah,
of the
that,
Trump.
yeah.
Yeah,
because of the
Iranian
Trump ban.
director. Mm-hmm.
So there we go. That's that.
He's won before. He's won for a foreign. I think it's for foreign film category. I don't think it's for animated. But
Oh
it's,
yeah, it is foreign. I heard
yeah.
it last night in passing, and I was like,
I didn't write the foreign films down, but yes, I
can
do.
pull them up
He's
right
won in the
here.
past. He won for writing a screenplay, but it was a foreign film, and that was one of the first in a while, if not ever.
Oh
that one.
yeah, here it is. The Salesman, Asghar something.
What country is it from? Does it say?
Iran.
Iran.
Mm.
Yep. So, without getting too political, obviously that's
Yeah.
just something to that's happening, and hopefully it'll change for at least for everybody. But
Yeah.
that guy can come here and celebrate his movie and things like that. So, okay, well, so talking about best animated feature, right off the bat, I'm gonna say Zootopia, just because it's the only one I've seen on there, and also I just think it's been getting a lot of traction. It won the Golden Globe.
Yeah.
I don't know, it has a nice story and
Yeah,
the diversity.
that was the only
and
It's
one I
also
saw.
relevant to today's time.
Yeah, which I haven't seen Moana, and I still want to see it. But
Amazing movie.
Zootopia, definitely, I can sense that it has the more relevant topic,
Mhm.
and it did it very well. It wasn't really it didn't hammer in
No.
so much like a movie like Crash did,
Right.
but it did a little very subtly, and it did it under the guise of a fun animated family movie.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
think
Well,
definitely should win.
I am a sucker for Disney princess movies.
Hmm.
So I want to say Moana, but I don't think it's got the caliber because
I think it's gonna win
yeah.
best song at least.
it
That
might
or-
win best song, but I think La La Land might get that one.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm a sucker for Moana and Dwayne the Rock Johnson. But
Yeah, it was interesting to see that he's doing a animated film, but I guess because it's about his type of the people
Yeah.
that his ancestors or whatever, it made sense.
Polynesian.
Polynesians, yeah.
mhm.
Is it Polynesian or Samoan?
Well, I think he's Samoan, but I think Samoan is a part
Descended
of
from Polynesian.
yeah,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
you
yeah.
know that stuff. But yeah, I think Zootopia is gonna take it.
Yeah, no, probably. If I had to make a bet on it, I'd probably say Zootopia. Just again, like Patrick was saying, like all of us were saying, just the relevance that it's having with our topics, more and more so as it gets closer to the
Yeah.
Oscars. It's becoming more and more relevant.
And it's good to see that Disney's separate 3D animated company, not Pixar, is
Yeah.
actually they're actually kind of making ground
Mm-hmm.
with their own films.
And they seem to work faster too because they're not as worried about connective tissue that the Pixar movies have.
Yeah.
You know, Pixar is all about putting Easter eggs to its other films and connecting and all that stuff. Whereas Disney, the animation department is just like, let's just make the movie the best it can be and not worry about
Yeah.
connecting it and all that stuff.
And
It
they're
just
smart
looks
and also-
human-like.
Yeah, they're kind of also using the same creators from like past ones that have been successes. So like, I always see like from the creators of Frozen, like that title was always on the newest Disney animated
Yeah.
film. 3D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we all agree probably.
Look, from the creators of Zootopia and Frozen, Disney's Moana.
Right. So
Yeah,
pretty
I
much the same people. So
Yeah.
they have a good chance. Obviously, somebody from Disney has a good chance of
If
winning.
Disney has
Yeah.
at least 2 picked, it's gonna be Disney. It's
Yeah.
just, it's not even fair, but like it's
Yeah.
you just know it's gonna be Disney.
Well, Moana gets my Oscar Best Picture.
Okay.
It
you're
gets
saying-
the Rachel Best Picture.
There you go.
Very
There
prestigious.
you go. Okay. So let's see. What can we do next?
Best
Yes.
actress in a supporting role.
Sounds good to me. Okay, so I'll read them off real quick. Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea, Viola Davis for Fences, Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, also known as Hidden Fences, if you watch the Golden Globes, Nicole Kidman for Lion. Anyone want to jump off first?
I don't think Michelle Williams is gonna get it.
Why do you say that?
Well, I heard from someone. I unfortunately haven't seen Manchester by the Sea, but
I haven't either.
I've
seen none of
heard,
these. Unfortunately.
I've seen one, I think.
that basically it was just like an emotional fest the whole time, and she didn't like. She was good, but she just wasn't Oscar worthy. So I don't think she's gonna get it.
I'm gonna go with Viola Davis, even though I haven't seen Fences. I think she's a great actress.
Oh yeah,
Besides, even though I
high
haven't seen
caliber actress.
it,
Yeah.
FNA. Yeah, I think she's gonna get that.
Yeah, Viola Davis was that of those performances. That's the only one I've seen. My dad and I went and saw Fences, and it was fantastic. And I think it helped because for 2 reasons. One was they did the Broadway play, her and Denzel together. So like they knew this play
They
like the back of their
clicked, yeah.
hand. They've done it 100 shows or whatever, and then they did this. And the other reason was that I think she'll win is the fact that she went for supporting role, and she chose that herself. Because Denzel, I remember reading something that said, like, asked her, like, why did you do supporting role? Like, you were lead actress. You were equally as big as my part.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, because I'd have a better chance of winning it that way. So there's a lot of campaigning that goes involved in it. It's like you almost have to sell yourself in a way, and which is, I kind of wish it wasn't that way. I kind of wish it was just you were purely recognized because you did well.
It'd be interesting to go research if it was like that during like the 70s and beforehand.
Yeah, I don't know if it was always like
Well,
that.
I actually just saw something on that show on True TV. Adam Ruins Everything. You know that
Mhm.
show? Well, he like basically ruins everything. And he did one on the Oscars, and he said that like basically you have to campaign. You have to, if you want it, you have to like go out there and like talk about your movie. Go and kind of basically seduce the Academy. So like
Right.
it's kind of sad that you have to do that, but me being hopeful that you win based solely on talent,
Yeah.
I also think Naomi Harris, I think, has that chance of being like kind of that.
The dark horse.
Yeah, the dark horse, kind of like
Yeah.
sweeping in, like actually stealing it, surprising
Yeah.
everybody. Like,
You know,
"Ooh, crap."
Moonlight all of the movies is the one I haven't seen. I mean, I haven't seen most of them, and they're on my list to see, like La La Land and all that. But Moonlight, just in the more and more I like read about and watch and little clips and things like that, is the one I want to see the most
Yeah.
because I'm all about obviously supporting young filmmakers being one, and also it being like an African American director, African American story. You know what I mean? Like story and all this kind of stuff. I think it would be really awesome to see it win and like to really show that we're moving in a positive direction. I'm not saying it should win just because of that. It should win because it's also the best movie of the year, if that's what they say. But that's like my big movie that I hope wins it all. And hopefully seeing it, I'll still feel that way. I hope to not see it and be like, oh, that actually sucked, or something.
Because
like that.
you're like kind of bumping it up pretty.
Yeah.
up in your head.
But it's definitely at the top of my list of like movies I want to see. I don't think I'm gonna hate it. I just think I might not love it as much as I thought.
I feel like that too. Like I feel like if I were to see it, it's like no, that was good, solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be denying that it's a bad or a good movie or whatever. So, but I'm still gonna stay with Viola Davis at this point, just because I saw her performance and it was fantastic, and I genuinely believed that like she hated Denzel Washington in those parts or loved Denzel, whenever it called for. So
I think I'm gonna agree with you. Viola Davis the whole way.
sweep. Viola
Yeah.
Davis gets a sweep for us. Okay, so
supporting actor?
best actor in a
Best
supporting role.
actor.
Go ahead and read them.
Yeah, so it's I'm gonna butcher this name, but
Mahershala.
Mahershala Ali for Moonlight,
Mhm.
Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water, Lucas Hedges for Manchester by the Sea, Dev Patel for Lion, and Michael Shannon, Nocturnal Animals.
It's go ahead,
Shannon's out. I don't think Shannon's
Yeah,
out.
I really think it's gonna be Mahershala Ali. And
I
also
think so, too.
sometimes, a lot of times, if the star has done previous works the same year and has garnered a lot of praise for that, that kind of counts as campaigning for the next role that that person knocks out of the park. So I think he's gonna take it.
Yeah, he had a really good year. He was in this. He had Luke Cage that was really successful. He was
yeah.
coming off of House of Cards. Like and that's what spoiler, he left House of Cards to pursue like movies basically like this and stuff like that. So I think he's got the best chance. The one that kind of surprised me, but not totally, was Jeff Bridges.
Yeah,
I saw
was.
Hell or High Water, and I liked it a lot, but I thought it was something we've kind of seen before. It was kind of I think you've described it as like the Rooster Cogburn sheriff. Like we've seen it before from him, but it wasn't like bad performance.
It seems like with supporting actors and actresses, there's always like in those categories, they always nominate like the youngest and also the oldest. Sometimes that's always the case. I think
And
maybe
you'll find that with the best lead actress.
yeah.
Like, of course, Meryl Streep's, and
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but because I have some words for that now. Yeah, so I think Jeff Bridges was just kind of thrown in there as like, we like this guy. He did a decent job. Let's give him a role and stuff like that. And
I think I feel the same way about Michael Shannon because, like, not for the Golden Globes, only Aaron Taylor Johnson was nominated, and he won it.
right.
And I did not think he was. I mean, I saw Nocturnal Animals, and it was okay. I mean, it was a great story, great plot, but I didn't think it was anything special. Like, it's not something new that I've seen. And Michael Shannon just played his, like, his typical, like, weird character you don't know about. So I think when I saw Michael Shannon was nominated, I thought that was a big shock.
Do you think, just real quick while we're talking about Nocturnal Animals, I haven't seen it either. That's another one on my list. But do you think Amy Adams got snubbed for that role?
No.
I thought she got stuff for Arrival.
That's like another one that's on top my list to see.
Yeah.
My list is literally on Netflix. I have the DVD. I still use the DVD system as well as Instant.
Yeah.
So I had them today. I organized them to I was like, okay, this one comes out February 14th, and this one I'm trying to see them all, as many as I can before the Oscars. So not like, well, I didn't see that one, but I guess that I want to at least have seen them. So when they do win, I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, I know why.
I get it. So
I didn't. Yeah, I was like really excited for Nocturnal Animals, and then I saw it, and I was like,
I think that's how most people felt.
Like,
yeah.
It's, I mean, it had some tough topics in it, and like some parts were very, like, made
Heavy.
you feel uncomfortable. But I think that was Tom Ford's intentions, and I think he conveyed that well. But I mean, to me, it was just a regular movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm no critic. Like, don't take my word for that. Like,
Yeah. No, it's okay. Okay. Do we want to do director or the actor? Whichever's next there. Is that
This is Best
actress?
Actress.
This is Best Actress.
Okay, we'll do that. Do you want to read them off again?
So we got Isabelle Huppert from Elle,
Mm-hmm.
Ruth Negga from Loving, Natalie Portman from Jackie, Emma Stone, La La Land, and Meryl Streep, Florence Foster Jenkins.
The only one I saw was La La Land with Emma Stone. I can see her winning because I think the Academy loves actors who are going to be like a trifecta, where they can sing, dance, and act, kind of like from the olden days. So I think, and she did a great job. I think obviously out of the two, she sung the best. Then Ryan Gosling, who was okay, definitely not the best singer.
Par.
Yeah,
Like subpar.
subpar at best.
I haven't seen any of them. I'm like looking at it upside down. No, you're good. You don't have to flip it. Okay, so here's what I was going to say about Meryl Streep. I'm not her biggest fan. I can easily say that. It's just more or less because they like hype her up to be this like amazing actress, and I think she's just like good. Like she has her roles that I think that I've seen that are like, okay, this one's good. Like I'll admit that I've seen most of, or probably like half of Devil Wears Prada. We watched it for a class. I think it was one of Liz's classes, actually.
I can't remember.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. I watched it in one of those classes, and what I saw of it, I was like, okay, she's playing a good part here. I liked her in Series of Unfortunate Events and stuff like that, but I feel like at this point, they almost like, oh, she's in a movie? Well, all right, just give her a nomination. Just like make her feel good, you know what I mean? Or it draws people in or something,
Well,
I don't know.
If you think about it, like last year, she was nominated for an Oscar for Into the Woods. And I was like, Into the Woods?
Like supporting actress Into the Woods, yeah.
I was like, what?
Well,
No.
it is interesting with this kind of movie that she's in, which kind of came out of nowhere and only is getting attention because of Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
You'd think if this was cast by, not to be harsh, but like a nobody,
Yeah.
it wouldn't, I think, got recognized at all.
It's one of those
agree.
movies, I was trying to think of an equivalent because it plays like, or the way it seems is kind of like a movie that is closer to independent, but like
a January movie.
Yeah, kind of like a January movie that's like quick to go to DVD. Not a lot of people see it. It usually is in like the 6 range, like 6 out of 10 range, and it just kind of gets swept under. It's like one of those cheesy biopics that just never like sometimes you get a rare one like a Walk the Line or something like that, or Ray, but then these other ones that just kind of like boop, and it just kind of trickles away.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what that was going to be when I was first hearing about it. And then, of course, being Meryl Streep, and then it's like coming out of nowhere, like you were saying, and being this big thing. So,
it's the same for Julie and Julia. Remember that movie? Like,
yes,
yeah, which I still want to see because I like the idea of the story or the real life stories. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah,
but
Julia Child.
I still want to see Jackie because I think Dan knows this. I'm kind of obsessed with the Kennedys, and I love the idea that they are considered
the American
like they're American royalty in a sense. And I know there have been like mixed reviews with the film, especially with Natalie Portman. Some think her performance was great. Others think like I could tell she was just acting. I didn't see her as Jackie O. And it really comes down to that accent, which if you watch like old videos of Jackie, it's a very thick New England accent. So it's either love it or you hate it. You have to kind of take it. But I'm still excited. I still want to see if I can see that somehow, one way or another.
Is that Emma Stone in the top?
No, this is Isabel Hooper. She won the Golden Globe for Elle.
And that's a foreign film, which is interesting.
It's directed by Paul Verhoeven, who did RoboCop and
the newer one.
No, the older,
the original,
and like Starship Troopers. He's a very like over the top director with he has all of his films have sex and violence in them, and this is like I think about a story about a woman who was raped.
It was and getting the revenge on him or something.
Yeah, and. I still want to see it because that sounds interesting, and since Paul Verhoeven is directing it, it'd be interesting how he tackles that and handles it because he's not really a director for subtlety.
But yeah, I think it's French film. I think
or no, it's like wrong. Hungarian or something. We can look in best foreign film.
Okay, and I do think it's interesting that they're starting to bring movies like that in and make them more equal par with American films.
I mean, if it was distributed by an American company, technically it counts as an American.
Yeah,
I've
just kidding. It's not nominated for best.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I've always wondered though, like what qualifies it to be an American film or what qualifies, because there are times where like if it in some ways that does kind of bother me, but it also I do enjoy that they're doing it because it bothers me in the sense that like. I always thought the Academy was like recognizing American films, and then we had the one category. Okay, here's best foreign film, and then you have like the BAFTAs, which is like the British Academy. We all have our own Academy. So then to see a movie that like a French film or wherever it's from come in and be like possibly win over these American actresses, in a way, kind of bothers me. But again, I also enjoy the fact that we are recognizing outside talent.
I mean, I think it is that stipulation. If the foreign film was made, this is like The Artist, which won Best Picture in 2011. It was, I think, made by a French production company, but it was bought by American distributor. So I think that, and the Academy dictates that can count as an American feature. And I think
it had American actors in it.
Yeah, and I think when studios recognize that, they think that, this is like an opportunity to get more recognition, not just for like best foreign film.
And didn't Jean Dujardin, I like saying that name.
It's a good name. I like it.
Win like best, or he's nominated for best actor, right? I don't know if he won.
Well, I remember The Artist sweeped that year.
Yeah, it was a big one.
So I think I can't remember.
I think he
but
did win. I'm like almost because I thought I remember him coming up there and like mentioning the dog and like mentioning stuff. So.
Yeah, I think that.
I think he
Yeah.
did, which is kind of funny because his career, at least in American films, is kind of like
He was in. He had
Wolf
a
of Wall Street.
and that's
part,
like about it.
and then I haven't seen him since then.
Which is kind of the dark side of winning an Oscar is because I think
No one wants you.
the woman who was in Precious, who played the mom.
Gabrielle Sidibe.
No, that's the one who played the mom.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
She won, but after that, she really, you don't see her nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a make or break point. I think it's like you either blow up from there or you become like too big, I guess, and people are like, oh, I don't want to work with. We don't have the money to work with.
And
him,"
oftentimes,
or
if you win an Oscar, like the next film is actually like a very much lesser film, like an action movie. Like with Natalie Portman in 2010, she won for Black Swan, but in 2011, her biggest film was Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I think it ends up being a lot of times it's just a timing thing because they're planning, you know, they're attached to movies 3 years in advance sometimes and stuff like that. So Natalie Portman, for example, since you just mentioned it, she could have been attached to Thor since 2009 for all we know. And
Right.
it was already filmed when she was doing stuff for Black Swan, you know, so it's like, and you don't know what's going to win and what's not going to win. So it just sometimes it just happens that way that it works. But and then other times you get like a Tom Hanks situation when he won in the 90s where he had Philadelphia that hit and then Forrest Gump that
It was
hit.
like 93 and 94.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
just
like,
one back to the
career blew up.
And then since then he's gotten nominations, not this year, but he's got nominations but hasn't won since.
well, yeah, because the Academy likes they'll give you an actor his or her due, but by the time like they're in their 60s and they already won like maybe 1 or 2 Oscars, they're kind of like, we'll nominate you as like out of respect, but you probably won't win. Like you've had your shot.
Well,
They go for
Meryl
younger
Streep,
talent.
for example.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's been nominated countless times. I do not think she deserved the nomination for Into the Woods.
No.
That was an okay film.
But I think her singing had gotten a lot better since like Mamma Mia, which was
Mamma Mia.
dread awful.
Rave about. You
I
do
didn't-
not like Mamma Mia?
I do not like Mamma Mia. I mean,
Oh
I
my
like
God.
honestly, secretly, I like ABBA. I like a few of their songs.
Patrick, I look at you in a different light right now.
But
my
her singing
all-time-
was awful, and so was Pierce Brosnan's. I mean, his was worse than hers.
You saying James Bond can't sing?
He can't.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. I literally just saw it on at the Hippodrome. I love Mamma Mia. It's my favorite musical.
That's awesome, but it's not for me.
Okay,
It's not the musical
agree
for
to
me.
disagree.
Okay, I'm gonna cut this tension here with a knife. Okay, well, no, I mean, everyone has their opinion.
I'm gonna start singing that to you, like
Right, yeah.
randomly.
Just sing it during
Mamma Mia.
class.
I don't want. Never mind.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I mean, a nomination's just a little title that you get. I mean,
Yeah, Oscar-nominated actor.
You'll
Right.
see it in trailers.
Trailer
now on,
or
yeah.
they put it on the poster. It'll be like Oscar-nominated actor, this person. Oscar-nominated actress, this person. And
I hope I'm that one day. I hope someone.
A lot of
be
times, like actors, like they'll get their Scent of a Woman, which is like Al Pacino's Oscar, but
Mhm.
he was like, I think he was like 50 by the time he got his actual Oscar. Which
right,
happens a
but
lot.
it's like, okay, well, for Al Pacino's a good example, and Martin Scorsese's also a good example
Jeff
of this,
Bridges actually himself too.
where
Leonardo DiCaprio.
where they've had so many better films in the past that they could have won for. Like Scorsese, I'll use because I know this the best. He should have won director for Raging Bull. He probably most definitely should have won for Goodfellas. I mean, Goodfellas is like a near perfect film in many eyes.
Gangs of New York. Too.
Gangs of New York did
Which is
well. Like
underrated.
all these
Yeah.
other films, he's done well with. Passion of the Christ, like all these other things.
Yeah, it's
And then he
less than
wins
Temptation,
For as
but-
much as I love and I have to say it this way because it's just fun, is The Departed.
The Departed. Yeah.
As much as I love The Departed, I don't think it's his best film. Like, it's definitely up there as just like being a fun film that I like that he did. But I think he, as far as like artistically, he did much better with like a film like Taxi Driver, which I would have loved if he won that because I love Taxi Driver. And he just didn't get his chance. So he didn't get it till what? He was in his almost 60s,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it almost at that point felt like,
Well, he also
all right,
won for
we'll give it to
Hugo
you.
too.
He was nominated. I don't think he won. I think he just doesn't won.
I don't
I
know.
thought-
I remember him winning like recently.
I'm going to double check on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like the same way with Leo DiCaprio, where he's one of my favorite actors. But I can see why he won for The Revenant, because when you see like the amount of work that he did in that movie,
Yeah,
which
it's
I think is why
exhausting
they
to watch.
I think that's why they gave it to him, like because he fucking ate like a bison's
Yeah.
liver, hid in a dead carcass of a horse. So like
Yeah.
whether that was real or not. I can understand why they give them as just out of respect. Like, dude, you put your whole heart into this. But I
and
think
he does that for every film that he's done. And I think the reason that he won his Academy was like the Academy paying him back for all the times that he got snubbed. You know,
yeah,
because
like,
he didn't get nominated for Titanic. He was nominated for, I know everything about Leonardo DiCaprio. He got nominated for
The Aviator.
Well, The Aviator, and I'm surprised he didn't win for that, because that was a phenomenal.
Honestly, that's my favorite performance of his, is The Aviator, and that's actually my favorite Scorsese film.
Yeah. What's Eating Gilbert Grape was his first nomination, and like that's understandable. He's 20 years old. Like the newcomer might not win, and like everyone was surprised to hear that he wasn't actually like mentally challenged. Yeah. So like everyone's like, what? But yeah. So I think it was that. I forget the one in the middle, but The Aviator.
Blood Diamond, I think.
Blood Diamond, I think he did. Or
and yeah, he got
there was two
pushed for
that
The
year.
Departed.
So he could go for
Yeah,
the Blood
for Blood
Diamond.
Diamond because
Right.
he thought he would get a bigger one.
Right.
And then I don't know. I can't. I can't remember.
Departed was such a heavy cast that he went for the Blood Diamond. So real quick to answer it, he was nominated for Hugo, Martin Scorsese, but he didn't win. He's been nominated for just for director 7 times, winning just the one time. But he's also has one Best Picture nominee for Oscars and 2 writing Oscars, for one for Goodfellas and one for The Age of Innocence.
Right. He co-wrote Goodfellas with the author of the book, actually, in fact.
Okay. Yeah, so he's another, but he's just like, are you kidding? Like, because I looked at it, it was like Raging Bull, Last Temptation of Christ, Goodfellas, Departed, Hugo, and Wolf of Wall Street. And there's one other one. Oh, an Aviator. Those were his 7 that he's been nominated. And like none of them before Departed, he won for. So sometimes I was saying this to our teacher Chris Reed. It's like at the end of the day, even if your favorite film or director or actor or whatever doesn't win, they're still good. It's still a good movie.
It doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change anything. It's still good. I mean, it's an honor even just to be nominated. It's a nice thing, but at the end of the day, somebody has to win. So
exactly.
But you can, again, you can still enjoy it and still nice. So, what did we decide? We decided Emma. I think we all said Emma Stone, right? For or did you have someone different in mind?
I mean, I haven't seen La La Land.
I've only seen La La Land, so I'm going to say Emma Stone.
I'll say Emma Stone too.
I'll just agree.
Agree. Okay. Best Actor. I'll read them here. Best Actor category is Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge, Ryan Gosling for La La Land. I should have said the nominees are. Denzel Washington, Fences, Casey Affleck, Manchester by the Sea, and Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic.
You say Denzel?
I did, yeah, for
Okay.
third.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So, of the movies I've seen, I would say Denzel Washington because I've seen Fences. But if I'm being honest, and who I really think is going to win is, or has a good chance, is Gosling, purely because of La La Land's huge success.
Yeah.
I think they're going to. I think I've been telling you guys. I think they're going to take at least 8 out of the 14.
Oh yeah, I
Oscars
think
that
La La Land's gonna sweep.
Like they'll probably take 2/3 of what they're on, at least of what they're nominated for. So
I'm going to have to go with Gosling because that's the only film I saw, which is ironic. Is like this is my favorite season of movies is Oscar season, but I somehow see less films then. I don't know why.
Or I'll say Casey Affleck too, which I know you were saying he's got some like past issues coming up now, of course,
but
which can really derail.
Yeah, but before I heard all about like all that stuff that he was accused of, he was like, when Manchester by the Sea like first came out, they're like, he's got it, he's winning.
Yeah,
that
he's
Oscar.
the front runner, or whatever.
Yeah, so I think it's between him and Ryan Gosling. It's gonna be the major.
Right, because Denzel's another one that it's like, okay, you've won, so let's give somebody else a chance, but we'll at least nominate you. Which I was kind of hoping he would get nominated for Best Director, and he didn't.
Well, I think doesn't Casey Affleck have something under his belt from what's that one movie that has been directed?
He has a nomination, I think, but I don't think he's ever won an Oscar. You're talking about Gone Baby Gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has a nomination. Garfield also has a nomination for Social Network.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he won that. And then Gosling has a nomination, and I think this is Viggo Mortensen's first.
Let's see.
Because he's having more of a renaissance later career now, where he's getting a little bigger.
He's definitely the indie pick out of all those. Cause, the Academy usually will pick like an actor that you didn't even realize had a movie come out
You're
this
like, oh,
year.
he had a movie out this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see that. It looked kind of interesting. Captain Fantastic.
Yeah, well, Vigo's been nominated for 2 Oscars.
Oh, 2. Okay, wow.
Oh, this is his second. The first was Eastern Promises, and then this is his second at Captain Fantastic.
Okay.
I mean, how was he not nominated for Lord of the Rings? Like, come on.
I'm surprised, but I at the same time, I think only Ian McKellen was nominated as far as actors go, right? It was a lot of technical stuff they won on,
Yeah, I
mean,
script.
I think
and-
every film won visual effects.
yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
that made
Respected
sense.
year. Yeah.
But I think the last one is the one that obviously won all the big ones, and it won like director and picture and stuff. But I don't
Yeah.
think it had
11
any
Oscars,
actor categories.
no.
Two Towers is my favorite.
Which
though.
I realized when I was writing these down, that La La Land doesn't have any representation in supporting actor or supporting actress. I guess they didn't have a lot of big supporter.
Not really.
actors.
I mean, I think the biggest one was J.K. Simmons. Yeah, that was bad.
And so, like, had they done that, that would have been 16 Oscar nominations. Like, that's huge. So obviously,
Yeah.
they won a lot with like some technical stuff. But if they would have gotten the Oscar stuff or the supporting actor and actress categories, it's like, god damn, 16 Oscar nominations for a guy who's this is his third film. I think he's under 30 years old. He's doing pretty well for himself now. In some interviews, it does kind of seem, at least from my perspective, he's kind of letting it go to his head a little bit. It seems like he's getting a little more, like, a little wrapped up in it, kind of, and not staying as humble as maybe he should be. Could be wrong. I mean, I've never met the guy, obviously, but Damien Chazelle, he's from New Jersey, so
Cool.
Jersey filmmaker.
I don't know why I assumed he was like a French or. I think it's just the name. It felt like
Chazelle,
Chazelle or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that or Hispanic. It kind of, I could see it being like a Spanish last name. Either way, yeah, he's a younger guy, but so I guess in a way I kind of root for him too because he's a younger filmmaker and from New Jersey. Not that would, even if he won, it's not like it would come back to me be like, okay, now I'll recognize all New Jersey
Like New
filmmakers.
Jersey's favorite son now.
Oh, and that was funny. Before, I don't think you were around, Patrick, but I saw an article. I don't know how real this is, but because you know how fake news is today. But it said many celebrities are trying to band together to have a ban of Hollywood until Trump is fired. And I said to Greg, I go, let them. We'll take their jobs.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead, go on strike. I'd be happy to take your job. I'll work for free. I have no pity with that stuff. Like, I'll work under Trump or whatever. I don't give a shit. You know? So I was like, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be the CEO of Paramount Pictures. Yeah.
I've got a feature that I can tune up a little bit and get going and stuff like that. So I'd be happy to take your job, George Clooney or Meryl Streep or any of these actors and directors and all that stuff. Go ahead, as long as you need. So anyway, I don't think it's going to happen because they're going to miss not making a big paycheck. I mean, like Greg said, they make money off of sponsors.
Oftentimes,
and stuff,
it's just big talk.
Yeah.
It's like what those certain actors say, like, you know, I'm going to retire next year. Like, no, you're not.
yeah,
You might be producing more films and not acting, like Brad
most
Pitt
celebrities,
or George Clooney.
they retire when they die, kind of thing, you know. And unless you're like a Jack Nicholson who's like, I can't remember my lines, you know.
I have
So
a
he
cue
has to
card.
retire. Yeah, can I have a cue card? Stuff like that, or Joe Pesci.
Or Betty White.
Betty White is
Immortal.
like, yeah, she's amazing. 95 years old, that woman is still working,
Yeah.
and it's like, what am I doing my life?
I'm hoping to retire by like 40.
Yeah, she's still like, what's next? At 95
At least
years old.
she's like cursing in like recent shows, which is just hilarious. to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Betty White's great.
Have you heard about that thing? I think I can't remember who like passed away, but they're like someone set up an actual GoFundMe to protect Betty White.
Oh, it was when Carrie Fisher died and Debbie Reynolds, yeah. Yeah, and she heard about it. I meant to watch the clip of like when they told her that happened, and I haven't yet, but I'm sure it was very funny to be like, wait, what? They're trying to save me? Yeah. Don't die anytime soon, Betty White. Be very sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to admit, though, I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff that she's been in. I mean, I've seen episodes here and there of Golden
I
Girls
think she was
and
on
stuff.
an episode of like Scream Queens, or she was on one. I know she started one of the more recent like CW-esque shows that are popular now, which I think that's kind of her career nowadays. Is because I don't think she's in that hot and Cleveland.
That ended, yeah.
Which actually I watched a couple episodes, which was actually funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think that was about it. That was like her biggest
Yeah.
show recently.
And that was kind of like, in a way, Golden Girls 2.0. Especially if you read the description, because it's like women in their 40s decide to live together in Cleveland, where they're known as hot or something like that. Is is pretty much the
Yeah.
description.
Well, didn't she win an Emmy for like an SNL skit or something?
Maybe.
I think so. Like someone.
I know she was one.
did
There was
that.
one where she was on for like that radio talk where Alec Baldwin did the original one with Sweaty
Sweaty
Balls.
Balls. Yeah.
This was like the sequel of like Yeast or something, where it's like, "Oh, you want to touch the yeast?" And
Yeah.
whatever. And it was Betty White was like the
Yeah.
guest, so she might have won for that. But
Let's see.
I remember her winning a SAG award. I think it was for Hot in Cleveland. I remember her being like,
She's
like
nominated.
holding it, and it's just like, oh wow, like feeling it and stuff, like because it's like a big dude and stuff. Which I think my dad told me the SAGs are on tonight. So I don't know.
Yeah, for SNL, it just says for episode host Betty White, outstanding guest actress.
Guest
in a
actress,
comedy
yeah.
Series.
Yep.
She's
A lot of-
nominated for a lot of Emmys.
Sometimes people win like that way. If you just really crush it as a guest star, like you could still win something, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
That's the Emmys. Okay,
So best director and
director,
best picture.
yes, and then picture, and then we can get out of here because I'm getting warm. Okay, so best director. This one's an interesting one, and this is the one I care about just because I want to direct. Is Mel Gibson for Hacksaw Ridge, Barry Jenkins for Moonlight, Kenneth Lonergan for Manchester by the Sea, Denis Villeneuve, I'm sorry if I butchered the name, Arrival, and Damien Chazelle for La La Land. And a lot of these guys, like Barry Jenkins, Kenneth Lonergan, and Damien Chazelle, are also nominated for some kind of script because they also
Mhm.
wrote the script
Mhm.
that they wrote or directed. So
Once again, I'm gonna say
Damien Chazelle?
'cause
Yeah.
I've only seen La La Land.
Mhm.
It's interesting that they're recognizing Mel Gibson, which I'm also not surprised because with Hollywood, it seems where if someone has a very controversial thing career in their life, they won't really like banish them. They'll just like you sit in the corner for
Yeah.
like 10
give them a
years,
timeout or something. Yeah,
and then we will recognize
We'll
you for
forget
something.
about what you did if you make a couple.
Yeah,
movies
sweep it
for
under the
lesser.
rug and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, like he made a couple indies, like I think Mr. Beaver or something where he had a
Yeah.
the
puppet.
Beaver.
The Beaver.
It's on
I think
Netflix.
actually, I do want to watch
Yeah,
that.
I
It
want
looks
to watch
funny.
it.
Yeah, so like that's the case for a lot of directors who have that kind of career.
Mhm.
I don't think he has a chance because that would be quite
No,
the
yeah.
controversial pick because considering his past. I think it's gonna be Damien Chazelle because he's a new up and coming director, and that this is like his second or third film. He's doing it that big, like this big musical.
Yeah.
Kind of a love letter to the ones in the
Mhm.
30s.
Well, I personally believe it's going to be the director of Moonlight.
Barry Jenkins.
Yeah, Barry Jenkins. I think he's going
Kind of like a spotlight.
to steal the
last year,
show. Yeah.
That's what I want is Barry Jenkins too. Just from hearing his like personal connection to this story and stuff. I don't know if you guys know
Mhm.
any of it about it. Like with how his mother is basically Naomi Harris's
Yeah.
character. I mean, it's written off a play that he didn't write, but he did write like the screenplay for it or co-wrote. So I thought that was really interesting and how it was almost like a meditation kind of a forgiveness kind of thing for him to make this film. Like his mother's still alive, but and he was saying in one of the interviews where he was like, I asked her if like she wanted to see it, and she basically was like, I'm not ready to see it yet, kind of thing. She has to see it on her own time and stuff like that. So I thought that being part of the story was really interesting, and so I'm all Barry Jenkins. However, that's who I want to win. Who I think is going to win is probably going to be Damien Chazelle, or I don't know. I'm not going to rule Mel Gibson out.
Well, when
Just
I
because-
talked to Chris Reed, he was like, Mel Gibson has to like over exaggerate everything with blood, guts, and gore, and so I think that's going to be his downfall. And that's Chris Reed's opinion.
And now, I haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge, and I want to, but I remember him talking about it,
Yeah,
and he was saying that he thinks that he did it to like. I mean, he always does in his movies, but he thinks he especially did it in this because he really wanted to juxtapose the idea that like Andrew Garfield's character is so like clean and
Pacifist.
passive,
pure
And he's
yeah.
surrounded by.
But yeah, he's surrounded by all this bloodshed and stuff like that. But I guess he took it extra far than it went. But it's like if you think about it, war is really graphic and stuff like that. So if you're trying to go a little more realistic with it, maybe that is the way you have to do it.
And not to sound like I haven't experience in that, but like it seems really over the top to us because we haven't had that experience of being
Yeah.
in a war and
Right.
when shit goes real during those times. So yeah, it just kind of seems sensationalist.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but no one wants to like go to a movie theater and
Yeah,
see
and feel bad.
buckets of blood, you know, and
Feel like crap.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like it was when Saving Private Ryan, you know,
Mhm.
like people actually walked out of the movie theater because it brought back PTSD. So like,
My dad did actually. He walked out of
Really?
the film. Hmm
Was he in the military?
He wasn't in the military at all. It's just those first 15 minutes just really
were painful. Yeah.
kind of traumatizing. Like, I need to.
I do remember reading though that it was like the closest they've ever come to perfectly accurately getting what it was like to be at Normandy.
Yeah.
Like, because they showed it to veterans and stuff.
It
at the
just
time.
wasn't like it wasn't loud enough. I think it was.
It was their complaint was it wasn't loud enough. Yeah, but everything
Wow.
else they like hit it on the
yeah.
head. And I think it helped the fact that they did it so handheld and with the camera and like being right there in it
Mhm.
instead of it trying to be these big sweeping cameras and like it was like no, let's
Yeah.
get right into it and
Like
stay
push it
with
in your
them and
face,
stuff.
you
Yeah.
know,
like they're probably like this close to the actors and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
I can't imagine how long that took to shoot.
I can
just that
imagine,
one scene.
directing that,
I th-
handling that.
I thought I heard it was like 2 weeks, but I could be
That
wrong.
one
Just to do
scene?
that scene.
Yeah.
But you can imagine like how long it probably took to set it up and to
To
rehearse.
make it
and,
actually
And they only got
look-
like maybe like 3 hours worth of footage, perhaps, or they could only shoot for 3 hours.
yeah, because
Yeah.
you follow Tom Hanks and it's like okay now we have to reset this whole thing and we're gonna follow Tom Sizemore or we're gonna follow Barry,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Barry
clean up all the
Jenkins.
fake
Not
blood,
Barry
all
Jenkins,
the yeah.
We're
Barry
gonna
Pepper.
lace the blood, like the whole ocean with blood. You know what I
right,
mean? Like,
all that stuff. So we're because I doubt they're doing 2 cameras. Maybe they were, but or if
it's
they
hard
gotta
to
change the film
maneuver
stock.
around each other. Or they shot further down the beach.
I think
Yeah.
at some point actually Spielberg actually had the camera in his hand. He was moving,
Doing it
in and
himself.
out.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean it won best cinematography for a good reason. I think
Oh
so.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Janusz Kaminski. He's like my favorite cinematographer. I'm always impressed by his stuff.
Mm.
I don't know. I try not to have favorites because it just like varies and I like so many different things.
Yeah,
but
no, I have a lot
directors
of
I
different tastes.
I tend to choose just because that's the position I have the most interest in. But
yeah.
anyway, all right, last one,
Best picture.
best picture. Here we go, the big award of the night. So as they would say on that night, the nominees are La La Land. Should I say who the producers are?
No.
The titles.
I wrote them down. Yeah.
Because who cares about producers?
Yeah, they're not important at all.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. So important.
Please support them.
Yes, like us. Hire us. Arrival, Lion, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, Moonlight, Hacksaw Ridge, Manchester by the Sea, and Fences. I wrote them down because I really wanted to talk about the fact that Manchester by the Sea was produced by Matt Damon, who's an actor.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Matt Damon.
So right off the bat, the 2 surprises for me was Hell or High Water and Hidden Figures, because Hidden
Yeah.
Figures was another one that, like a Florence Foster Jenkins, that I thought would kind of get like
Pushed under the
you know
rug.
you'd miss it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but
But
I think
surprisingly, it did well.
it came out right at the right time. That's
Yeah.
the thing. So, I'm sure it's good as well. I mean, Octavia Spencer got nominated right for Hidden Figures.
yeah.
So
And she just got an Oscar an Oscar win, like a couple of years ago for was it The Help?
2011, yeah.
Yeah.
Which the movie, just by the trailers, Hidden Figures, it kind of felt like just the tone. It kind of felt like The Help too, where
Yeah.
they're tackling a very sensitive part of like American history,
Right.
and a part of history and figures that we really don't learn about, but also has more of kind of a lighter tone as well too, just to kind of keep it
Yeah.
funny and stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think that Arrival's gonna get snubbed. I mean, like, no
Yeah.
one cares about another story of aliens coming and Amy Adams trying to save them. Like, who cares?
Right. I mean, she got snubbed for that movie as well. Some people say. I haven't seen it. I can't
Me either.
really
Well,
say, but
friend of mine, Max Iacchiavelli, he says it's one of the best movies of the year. Arrival is. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Amy Adams. Sorry to all the people who are, but I just
I like her. I
Yeah,
mean,
she's-
I wouldn't put her up as a favorite, but I do like her work.
yeah, I don't know. I was like, ugh, Amy Adams, like aliens, okay, whatever.
Yeah, my dad watched it. Like he watched it on a bootleg, and he said it was confusing, and he didn't really like it. So that's kind of the idea I have in my head is that it's bad.
Yeah.
Just because I respect his opinion, but I do want to like see it and make your own opinion. Because I mean, movies are subjective.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Art is
Yeah, and the idea
subjective,
that
so.
this is an alien movie where they contact Earth, but like it's all about language and about
Mhm.
communication and how
Barriers and
if this were to happen realistically, I think most of our time would be spent trying to communicate with these other beings
Yeah.
from another planet. I just find it fascinating. That's why I'm excited to see it sometime.
For me, I want Moonlight to win. Again, I haven't seen it. I don't know why I have this strong attachment to it, but I just feel like it's a good movie. But I do think it's going to be La La Land
Oh yeah, I definitely.
or
think-
Manchester by the Sea.
Well, I think you know what I think. Well, last year Spotlight took it from out of nowhere, so I think they're gonna do that again. Like everyone's gonna think that La La Land's gonna take it, or Moonlight's gonna take it, but I think Manchester by the Sea could be that one.
Spotlight or
Revenant was the big one.
I think that was the more obvious choice. But
Yeah, everyone
Spotlight.
thought The Revenant was gonna win, but Spotlight took it. and
Spotlight's
everyone's like,
great. I love that movie.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it
was
was
fantastic.
amazing.
I've seen it a few
movie.
times now. I like it a lot. I bought actually. I think that was the first one I bought as soon as the Oscars happened. I was like, I think I went out that day and bought it and like watched it. I had seen it already, but I loved it.
What was that other movie that like was on? That came out at the same time and it was nominated for a ton of them. It was about the housing market. What's the name of that movie?
The Big
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 Short.
Short.
Big Short. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on Netflix too.
I like watched that and I think that was really. I don't know why I'm talking about this right now,
It's
but
where
You're
like
fine.
a lot. Some of the characters like talk, like they break the fourth wall.
oh yeah,
just,
Margot Robbie's in it. Selena Gomez is in
To
it.
like explain stuff or whatever.
They explained it and I still didn't get it. And
I
was,
didn't.
like,
My
lost.
dad and I went and saw that movie too, and both of us like looked at each other within 10 minutes of the movie starting. We're like, "What is this movie about? Like,
know.
I can't follow this."
Yeah.
We're like, we should have went and saw. I think at the other big one that we wanted to see was Hateful Eight. We were like,
Yeah.
oh, we should have went and saw that. And that movie, speaking of that, real quick, took me like 2 or 3 viewings before I was really like, okay, this is actually pretty good. The first time I saw it, I was like, I hate Hateful Eight. This is stupid. I don't like this.
I thought it was fine. Like I know I definitely realized that it's actually a well crafted movie, but just
Yeah.
in terms of like memorability and me really getting invested in the characters,
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it because it just I don't think it was that. It
well,
was the
I
focus.
liked. Well, I think what drawn me to the movie was definitely the 70. It was shot on 70 millimeter.
Yeah, definitely the look of it.
But
was great.
I respected the fact that every single character was like had some sort of bad thing about them. Like that's what
Right.
I respected. And of course everyone's gonna talk about Morricone, you know.
Yeah, Eno Morricone.
You know, yeah, Morricone. Yeah, I think
Mhm.
everyone's talking about the score and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm not a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, especially as a person. I just don't like him as a human being because he just doesn't strike me the right way.
Mhm.
But I do enjoy but I do enjoy a select few of his movies.
His
like-
earlier works are I prefer the most.
yeah,
Reservoir Dogs. Is
I think
definitely
he's
top
kind of
10.
in a way lost connection, and I just don't think he has the same power or like
Yeah.
impact that he used to. Like when he came out with Reservoir Dogs, and especially Pulp Fiction, like and all, he hit the ground running with those big movies.
Yeah.
Probably from like was it 92 when Reservoir Dogs came out? Oof. All the way till probably the second Kill Bill was like his peak
Yeah, it's
right
prime
there.
time.
And
Yeah.
then since then, I think he's been trying to find that success, and he kind of found it with Django. Like I like Django; it's one of the ones I do like.
Mhm.
But like Death Proof, he's even said was garbage.
That's the worst film.
Inglourious
of his.
Bastards at first I liked, but then I realized I was like, there's not even like action in this. Like I was expecting it to be like,
It's more of a foreign film, actually.
yeah, I was expecting it to be more like Kill Bill level, like gory kind of
Mhm.
stuff, like with them hunting Nazis. I was like, that's awesome. That sounds really fun, and I want to see that movie. And it wasn't that movie. It was more like, oh, they're there, but it's really about this girl owning the
Yeah.
movie theater. And so, I guess from that perspective, it was like, okay, then he did a nice job. But
It's like
I was
expecting something else.
he's still doing passion projects,
it's all.
but
passion
he's
projects.
but he's doing them for himself, not for himself, but also the audience would also enjoy this.
Right.
Mhm.
It's
Like his
all
early
him.
works,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
like, I want to make a Western with cameras that haven't been used since the 1950s. And for us, we don't, the average film goer would be like, I don't give a
care,
shit what
yeah.
it's shot
Yeah.
on. You know, like, I want it to see blood and guts and cursing and all that stuff. But he's like, no, I want to do it this way. I want to do it this way. So, like, he has to,
I want a
and-
B movie with a movie production.
Right, right.
And like a director like Shane Black, who did The Nice Guys, which was one of my
Love that
favorite-
movie.
Love that
Oh
movie.
yeah, I loved it.
Lethal Weapon movies.
Iron
especially
Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
Hmm.
I'm realizing, like, after watching his films, like, I prefer Shane Black. He's like Quentin Tarantino with, he has all the great dialogue. There's going to be sex and violence in his movies, but he just has a better approach, at least nowadays,
it doesn't
than Tarantino does.
Feel like he's like forcing dialogue on you, where like
Yeah.
Tarantino feels like he wants you to have these catchphrases and like remember these funny lines.
And he's keeping it fresh
Yeah.
because
all that
now
kind of stuff.
Tarantino, when he's doing these long spurts of dialogue, these scenes go on forever. It's not as exciting as fun to watch at his earlier works. Now it just feels like,
Yeah.
okay, he's just trying to remind us why he's being remembered
It's
nowadays.
now. It's dialogue heavy. Oh, it's Quentin Tarantino. You know
And
what
Right.
I
it's
mean?
not as exciting.
And that's why he gets nominated for writing and stuff like that, which is well deserved. He does write a mean script, but
Yeah.
I definitely agree that he shouldn't have won director for any of these so far, just because he worries too much about the writing or like other little bits and stuff like that. I don't know. I could go on and on about it, but basically, I think
Well,
he doesn't have the same pull.
My favorite. I have to say this. I just want to say this.
No, you're
'cause-
fine.
But my favorite all-time Quentin Tarantino monologue is the monologue from Kill Bill Volume 2, with Bill talking about Superman. That's my all-time favorite monologue, and I always find myself like thinking back to that about how like Superman dresses up. He dresses up as a weak human being. That's what he thinks of us.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was cool.
Now, do you like the first or second Kill Bill better?
Oh, that's tough.
I can very easily say the first one.
Me too.
Yeah,
That's
the
easy.
first one's very good. You know, with that whole fight scene
Oh yeah,
between
it's like one of the best
Crazy 88.
sword fights I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
crazy.
strong ties. I mean, I think both the films have a strong tie to like.
And
you know,
also
Asian
when she
kung fu
fights Lucy Liu's character.
And
Oh,
the
that's-
snow and stuff.
Oh, that scene is so visually and like sound.
The second
pleasing.
one just like it's like too much more back on the dialogue, I guess, and more like figuring out the whole
Yeah.
story, which is obviously it's more important in that sense. But I just think the first one's more entertaining overall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Quentin Tarantino does give my dad a lot of those little, like the what's the thing? Oh, I just had it. There's like little phrases. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh.
Catchphrases?
Yeah, catchphrases. Like wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. or
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
That's where that came from. I was like, I've said that here and there and stuff like that. I never realized that.
My dad
came
says it
from
all the time. Or
wakey
that door's a
wakey.
whore. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever. They're fun and it is what it is. But
Yeah.
he's almost done, right? He's really sticking to that 10 movie thing. So I think he has
Yeah.
2 left in his
Mhm.
career.
Hopefully we'll get something as classic as something like Pulp
I-
Fiction again.
I'm wondering if he's going to go to TV though. If once he's done with
He might
movies.
produce something like here and there. He
he's
won't
not
be
gonna
able
Yeah,
to
like
disappear.
play.
Tarantino presents something.
Yeah, they could just put his name on
Like
stuff.
Western Classics, hosted by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, no, he's not going to go away.
No,
He
he's
just
definitely
maybe-
not going to stop. But
Yeah, or he might still write things, but he probably will only direct those 10 movies. Because there's
Yeah.
like True Romance where he wrote but he didn't direct, like Tony Scott did. Right? No, I'm sorry, Tony Scott did Natural Born Killers, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And also what was that one movie he acted in? It was like,
Uh,
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yep, he wrote that too.
yeah, but
With,
he didn't direct it.
and
also.
Robert
Started
Rodriguez
it too, a
directed
little
it.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very Rodriguez.
Anyway, so I think we made our decision, right? We said
Yeah.
La La Land. But what's our dark horse for that one?
Moonlight.
Moonlight, I'm thinking, yeah.
But I think Manchester by the
Or
Sea is going to
Manchester.
come in and swoop it up.
Those
I
are
don't
probably
know.
the 2 dark horses, the obvious one being La La Land.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, that's over an hour. We've been gabbing here, but we'll break this up on the computer. So, Rachel, thank you for coming in. Hopefully you
Thank
had
you for
some kind
having
of
me.
fun.
Yeah, even though
kinda-
it's like burning hot
Oh,
in
it's
this room.
it's awful. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
I don't know why I wore so many like I wore long sleeves under a flannel. I don't know what I was thinking, and wearing sweatpants. But yeah, so we do this every Sunday. So if you ever want to come back, let us know.
Too bad I'll be busy for the next like 800 Sundays. So.
We shoot Fridays and Saturdays, and then for Gerald's we shoot Saturdays and Sundays. So we'll we might be moving the podcast to Fridays, and then I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll figure it out, but we are going to try to keep doing it.
That's great.
Um,
If I'm ever free, I'll let you know.
okay. If you want your own, let us know. I'll help you set it up.
On
You-
my own podcast?
Yes, you and Morgan can do one. I can see you guys doing it.
Okay, great.
The Feminist Eye or something like that.
Maybe.
Yes. Just kidding. Okay. Well, as I say every week, support your local artists, kids. It's really important. And Patrick?
Be sure to check us out. Sam Geek Time, Sam Geek Channel.